Hi, Global Teachers. We're going to look at a great website today that can do multiple things in your reading class. And so we're at Global Teacher Hub. We're going to go to Reading Resources. Right now, under Reading Resources, there's a few resources here you might want to take a look at over time. I may point them out in a video. But the one we're going to look at today right here is called Storyline Online. So you will have to have a projector to be able to use this website or a document camera, but either way, projector would be what I would use. What this is lots of some of the best children's literature that's out there that is read to the students. So it doesn't have to be in your class library. It doesn't have to be in the library. It's right here, the whole book, and it's very entertaining for the students. So I'm just going to give you a quick look at it. I chose a story that I'm going to show you in a moment because the holiday as I'm videoing this is soon going to be Valentine's Day. And I always like to plan special things as those holidays and work them into my lessons. So when you first go to storylineonline.net, it comes up with some, featured January. So in February, there probably will be some Valentine type videos. Remember, a lot of these are probably going to be New Year's for January, possibly cold, because a lot of the United States is cold. And then there's all books, but I like to go up here to all books. And if you know a book, you can type it here. You can also search for a book. I don't think it has a very good search if you're looking for a theme or something like that. I don't think it has the best there. But you can search by title, author, reader, if you know them. If you're like me, you're probably mostly just going to scroll through. But let's start right here with this one and look at all the things it's written. It tells who the author is. It talks about the illustrator. Those are all great. But it says suggested grade level 2nd through 4th. Keep in mind that when students hear a book read to them, they can usually do 1 to 2 grades above what their independent reading level is. So this one could probably be for could be for like first graders, possibly kindergartners. It's the content. You would always watch the book first yourself. It only takes 8.5 minutes. So there you go. But what I like are these activity guides. So every book has an activity guide. Every book, here we have 1st through 2nd grade. This is a 15-minute book, and so on. The one I'm going to do, I'm not going to search through it here. I already have it marked up here, is this book. Somebody Loves You, Mr. Hatch. And I picked it because of the Valentine's Day. And I'm going to go right here and we're going to look at the teacher guide for this book. So the teacher guide, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm always talking about before, during, and after reading. That is to get the most from a book. You also know that I often say a good book like this can be 1 to 3 days of teaching lessons. And students do not care to hear the book more than once. They will watch videos, movies, read books over and over. And if you're looking at a harder concept, it's really easier the second time they do it. So, this gives a little synopsis of the story, some themes. It's going to talk about acceptance, love, friendship, community, empathy. If you are a counselor, it's always great to look at what these themes in the story are. A lot of times they'll say kindness or sharing and help you pick those kinds of books. There's a little synopsis here on and it talks about Valentine's Day. So that's why I thought this would be a good book. When you get in here, it talks about the ELA Common Core standards. If you're not familiar, the United States a few years ago went to Common Core, and this is what the Bahamas already does. Everybody follows the same standards. Up until that point in the United States, each state So all 50 states got to have their own standards. So if you ever see Common Core, that's just our new standards basing. So that's what the CCSS stands for. So, that's not important to you. And it's actually not that important to any of the state teachers in the states either, but there it is. So we have the before viewing. Okay, so before reading, before viewing, because we're going to watch it, you're going to see that what we're going to do is tap knowledge and build background to prepare for reading the story. So we want to know, what do they already know? And we're going to give them some background so that they're ready to read the story. So we're going to discuss these things. I'm going to go fairly quickly through this. We're going to introduce the title. And then if there's something else you want to add to this, feel free to do that. As you do more before, during, and after, you'll have some strategies. Maybe you picked out some vocabulary words that you said, ooh, we probably better go over this word before the story. During the viewing, while you're watching the little video for the book, they're going to listen to it and they're going to answer teacher posed questions. So you're going to want to be where you can stop the video and ask a question. When I do this with my class, sometimes I'll watch it right before it. And if I can remember where to stop it, I will. But if not, I write the time down. At 2 minutes and 21 seconds, I'm going to stop it. And I have this little list of about 3 places I might stop the story. If we stop the story too often, the students are going to lose the story map, and they're not going to be able to follow it if we stop it too much. So here's some predictions, because that's what the focus is, character and making predictions. So here's a question to ask. Please make up your own as you watch it. Come up with some other ways, other predictions you might be able to do. After viewing, the students will describe the character's feelings and how his actions contributed to the sequence of events. So you're going to be doing cause and effect, the graphic organizer on page 8. And so here's the procedure. I'm not going to go through all of that. Here's some reading response they can do, prompt the students. Then they start doing additional, like, how can you tie this to math? How can you tie this to social studies or social sciences? This one's writing. I don't always do these, but if you've never done a Cinquain poem, I think they're great. They're kind of in response to a haiku poem, and those are all part of U.S. Objectives. We have to students learn what a haiku poem is. But the reason I like these is when you write a Cinquain poem, they have 5 lines. The first line is the subject, dog. The second line is 2 descriptive words or adjectives. Oh, look at that. We're putting in our, parts of speech. Line 3 verbs. And so you would want to model and do one of these together as a class, maybe have partners write them, and then some independent writing. This is one of these things I wouldn't do just once. I would be writing Cinquain poems. One day I would model it, the next day, and so on. But here's some explanation. It's a great writing activity. And here's across the curriculum, different things. I am not going to go through these. If you're interested, you can do that. And then here's your cause and effect chart. Some of these actually have the worksheet, and some of them tell you to Google them and find them because there are so many online. Like if they want you to do a Venn diagram, they're assuming you have your own Venn diagram, or you can Google and find one. And then this is a little descriptor. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of this story and just what it looks like, because I want you to see that it's a very entertaining. So it's the Screen Actors Guild. So all of these are actors. Sometimes the kids would recognize them, sometimes not, probably not. So I would just let it go. You just let them do it. You could just watch it on YouTube, but I click it right here to watch. Okay, so the way I video this, it doesn't allow the sound to come through on his video, but he's describing the book to the students, and then they always give the title and who the author is and who the illustrator is. That's what he's doing right now, and so that's an important part of what what they do. And then you will see that as he begins reading the story, it will show the pictures, the actual pictures from the book, but in animated fashion. So he's reading a voiceover and you're looking at the picture and it's a little bit animated. So from time to time, you will see him come back on and continue to read the book. You'll just see him doing it. So the pretty pictures, they get to see them. Okay, so that's as much as I'm going to show you. I just wanted you to see it's not just a boring show the pictures. They scroll, they come in and out. Every once in a while, they'll show the reader again to go through things. And so it's a great way. And the video is about 12 minutes to watch this. And I just think it's a really great website. You could use it as just I just want my kids to watch a video. But this is such a rich resource that if that's the only way you're ever using it, you're probably missing out on lots of wonderful free learning activities. This will never be anything that is charged. It's a free, run by, as you can see up here, donations. So enjoy Storyline Online. I would encourage you that if you choose a book, you might ask your librarian, if you have a school library, if they have a copy of this book, because it is fun for the kids then to have the copy in the classroom where they could go get it and then read it. It gives them lots of confidence to read something they've already heard and have a little bit of understanding on it. So enjoy this website, enjoy reading with your students, and I look forward to sharing the next video. A verse for us today is John 1:1-4. I love the way that the disciple Apostle John teaches us, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men.